Bobcat.
Wow. Cool.
Only in Texas. I said it in another video. That was the Bobcat that I almost hit. You see? I'm not lying.
Not a liar. JT's not a liar.
Not a liar. We hope you can hear us over this really loud car. This thing is a 4-cylinder.
Yeah, only a 4-cylinder, and it is the Alfa Romeo 4C.
Honestly, I've been really looking forward to driving this car, and I know I'm going to give it some bad ratings in some of the categories already.
This ride is so harsh. It's so punishing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This car is something else.
It's so stiff. This is like objectively maybe one of the worst cars I've ever driven. The front side of this looks really good, and I love this in yellow. I think yellow might be my favorite color on the 4C.
I do like the yellow a lot. I like the red a lot. Noisy, but it goes.
It's noisy, and it actually does pick up.
Yeah, that's nice. I mean, this is 0 to 60 in 4.3-ish.
Yeah.
So it's right on par with a lot of the hot hatches.
Yeah.
For a car that's this price, maybe a tad slow.
Yeah.
But like I've said in some other episodes, nobody really needs that much faster than 0 to 60 in 4 seconds.
Right. I mean, this is still a really quick car.
It is, for sure.
It feels quick, and better than that, this feels like a go-kart.
Yeah.
And look at the size of this thing. Like, it is so utterly small.
I parked my Focus next to this, and it dwarfed this thing.
Yeah.
And my Focus is small.
It is incredible how tiny this is and how low to the ground this is.
Yeah, you gotta be really careful going over bumps and dips and stuff.
Yeah.
Or you will scrape this thing badly.
We asked our editor what he thought the price of this vehicle was, and he said that he believed it was over $100,000.
And I can see why.
And I can see why. And like, I think people will think that if you have this is like maybe a supercar.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is, honestly, I think it's a lot cooler than some of the more expensive competitors. Yeah, so.
Well, Alfa literally calls this a junior supercar.
That's a good description.
That's like the actual Alfa Romeo branding, marketing on this.
Yeah, this is like the little electric Escalade version of the actual Escalade, you know, the ones that kids can drive around?
Yeah.
It's like that for a Ferrari. I mean, it's rear engine, it's super aggressive.
Right, you do have the engine in the middle still. Yep. It's very exotic looking. It sounds pretty cool.
Mid-engine, I should have said, not rear.
Yeah, but you can probably fool somebody into thinking that this is a very expensive car. Three, 2, 1. There's 60.
There it is. As much as we rag on this thing, that's pretty fun.
That is pretty fun. It's pretty quick.
It is quick, and it sounds good when you're really gunning it.
Yeah, I love hearing the turbo whine too. Some people like say they don't like turbo noise.
Oh, I love it.
But I kind of like turbo whine.
I think it's a lot of fun.
All right,
Jeez, those brakes.
The brakes are hard. Oh, it's so harsh.
Piercing.
The back side looks very...
That's my favorite angle.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it.
I love the back. I love the enormous single
it.
brake lights.
Yeah.
The exhaust tips are pretty cool.
They are pretty cool.
They shake violently, even when this car is idling, which is kind of obnoxious. I mean, it doesn't need to do that.
Yeah.
The front is really cool too. It's got the classic Alfa Romeo triangle there.
Yeah.
And I love the Alfa badge, honestly. I think it's really cool.
I think it's funny, but I've always heard that, like, when you look at it, you can see the serpent that's eating the guy, and the serpent's like a $ sign, and it's eating the owner of the car.
Because of maintenance.
Yeah, because you're going to spend so much money on maintenance.
Yeah.
It's just Alfa things.
That's true. I mean, when you buy this car, you have to understand that 50% of the time you'll be waiting for it to be serviced.
Probably. This is one of the most stunning, like, okay, I will say, this is the most stunning car you can buy for under $60,000, in my opinion.
Now that the new Corvette is coming out, that's supposed to start under 60.
But will it?
Maybe.
We don't know that.
If it does, I will say that takes the cake.
Well, that would take the cake. But this, like, as far as we know right now, this is the best looking car under 60K.
This is the king. The interior is very much reminiscent of that 488 Spider we drove.
Yeah, I'd agree.
The whole cockpit is angled towards the driver.
It's very driver focused. It just feels like a cheaper version of the 488, in my opinion.
Yep.
Like, all of this is organized just like in a very similar way to the 488. Like you said, all angled towards the driver. However, the interior feels noticeably cheap.
Yeah, it does. I mean, there's a lot of carbon fiber and carbon fiber-ish accents in here, but like the dials and stuff, you got this thing is about to come off.
And this has 28,000 miles on it, and parts of it feels like it's falling apart.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's partly what you get when you buy a junior supercar. It's like you get the supercar with all the corners they had to cut to make it junior.
Yeah. It also comes stock with an Alpine radio system.
Yeah.
And like the audio system in here is hot trash.
Yeah, honestly.
Like, it's really, really bad.
Not that you'd be able to hear it over the ambient noise in here anyway.
I know, it's not like you would really use it anyway in this, but like if you want to cruise around in this is horrible to cruise around in. You can't daily drive this. I mean, you could, but you're
some people might say you can.
You're totally insane.
Yeah, we've been driving for, let's see, we've been rolling for under 8 minutes, and I'm already uncomfortable in this seat.
Yeah. Sitting in this car it's also one of the most uncomfortable cars I've ever sat in, if I'm being honest. It's part of what I said earlier, like, a lot of things about this car are objectively bad. Yeah. It's not comfy. The seats are very stiff. The suspension is very stiff. There's no power steering. Yeah. So you gotta...
and until you get up to speed, it's an ordeal to turn this thing.
Yeah, you gotta really strong arm it. And that affects the turning radius, too. When you're trying to turn, you're just like, oh! Oh my god. Yeah. It's just a process.
Yeah, it's just supremely uncomfortable. I mean, I've got plenty of legroom, which is nice, but there's nowhere for me to put my arms. They're either on the bolsters or in the cup holder, like digging into plastic.
There's zero armrest.
Yeah.
On like either side.
No,
you don't have anywhere to put your arms.
There's just a gap here. There's nothing here. They could have put something.
Yeah, as a driver, of course, you want your hands on the wheel, so it doesn't matter. But as a passenger, you're just like, what do I do with my arms?
Yeah. This is fine. This isn't uncomfortable.
Alfa Romeo took a very Lotus-like philosophy with this car, which is like weight savings and all about weight savings, right? Because this engine, it's a Turbo 4 and it produces 237 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. Yeah. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but this thing only weighs 2,500 pounds. Yeah. So when you gun it,
it goes.
It can really go.
I love it. I mean, I love small car philosophy because you don't need to put an enormous engine in it.
Right.
Of course, this doesn't sound like the best engine in the world.
And it's ultimately why I love this car. Because like, I will talk crap about it and say all the bad things about it, but you're going to get this car for a go-kart toy.
Oh, yeah.
And for that, it's awesome. And it's really, really fun.
You take this thing out when you're in a good mood, you want to go fast, and you're not going to care about how uncomfortable it is. Like, this is not your daily driver. You don't have to deal with this in traffic unless you really plan poorly.
Yeah, taking this in traffic, oh man,
talk about road rage.
I pity you so much. You'll be angry every day.
This car is all blind spots.
This is one of the worst blind spot vehicles I've ever driven. And since this was 2016, this doesn't have a backup camera. You just kind of got to deal with it.
Like, if you glance over your shoulder, there's just an enormous pillar that blocks all of your view.
You have to be like...
You can't see anything.
All right, I'm going to stop here to be safe.
Okay.
For example, when I stretch this far back, I still can basically not see what is to my left.
Yeah, I can't see over. Like, I have to have my face on the window.
Roll the window down, then I can see. But only when I roll the window down and only when I stick my face out of the window can I actually see what's behind me.
The mirrors are okay, they're placed well, so that helps, obviously. But man, this thing is, you gotta be careful.
It's truly bad.
Yeah.
You just gotta be very careful driving it.
I pity the motorcyclist who is near this thing.
Yes.
Over. Okay. Jeez. I feel like I'm getting into a roller coaster or something. All right.
That's a good description. This does actually feel like a roller coaster. Hit it. That's
fun.
That is fun.
That's the way to do it, personally. I feel like it's fast
gonna say that too. That actually did feel quicker than an automatic.
That felt a good bit quicker.
Yeah. Interesting, because it's usually quicker in automatic.
Yeah, which is odd. I think it shifts a little bit too early in automatic.
Yeah. So I'd like to comment on a little more practicality things in this car. First off, your visors, laughable.
Why are they even here?
No mirrors.
Yeah.
They're only here for regulatory reasons. Where do you store something if you use this car?
You don't.
You have no glove box. If you look around on the camera right now, where do you think there's storage? There is technically maybe two cup holders. I mean, this one's...
That could hold maybe like 4 strawberries.
That couldn't fit anything. You really have one cup holder, one like usable cup holder, and you have this thing.
Yeah, it's like a little clasp purse thing back there.
Can't even figure it out. But you have a little pouch there to store like a phone or something, and then you have like...
You've got 2 side, they're not side pockets, they're side cutouts.
Yeah.
That are a tight fit for a pair of sunglasses.
And they can't even fit JT's phone.
They can't fit my phone. I've got like a little folio case on my phone, on my Note 8.
And it doesn't fit. You do have a trunk with a tiny amount of space where you can maybe fit 1 or 2 backpacks.
And believe it or not, you don't even have a frunk.
Nope.
This thing is not designed to take the hood off. You have to undo screws and stuff.
Fuel economy is the one saving grace on the practicality on this car. It gets 42 mpg combined.
That's fantastic.
Combined city and highway, it gets 42 mpg.
That is so good for a car of this caliber.
Brand new, this starts at $57,500 roughly.
Okay.
It's like $57,500 US. Which is...
That's a bit of money.
It's a bit of money, especially when you consider some things that compete with this. For example, a Lotus Elise.
Yeah.
A used Lotus Elise you can pick up for significantly less than this, that has the same garbage interior, basically, and the same philosophy of weight savings, and like, it's impractical, but it's fun.
Yeah.
A Lotus Elise has everything pretty much this has: the looks, the imperfections,
the performance,
but the performance and the fun.
Yeah.
And you can pick up a used Lotus Elise for like $30,000.
Yeah. That to me is a no-brainer.
For me, that's a no-brainer, but I raise you with a Porsche Boxster.
I would take this over a Boxster.
Really?
Yes.
I think
just because I hate the Boxster.
I think the only thing that this has over the Boxster is the looks.
Yeah, I agree, totally.
The Boxster
it's a better car all around.
Yeah, the Boxster is similarly priced with this. It's very competitively priced. It has a much nicer interior, much more comfortable ride, much nicer sound.
More reliable,
pretty similar performance. This just looks cooler. So, is it worth it to have all of this crap that you got to deal with in order to have that like cool look and that unique kind of fashion style?
Personally,
because that's basically what you're doing with this.
To me, it's not.
To me, it's not either.
Which is a shame, because I really love this car. I do. I love seeing people driving it. I love seeing videos of them.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't be the one to drive it, honestly, because if you're in Texas or anywhere where it's hot, it's going to be hot. If you're anywhere it's cold, it's going to be cold. This thing is poorly insulated. It's loud. The AC and climate control doesn't work all that well.
Also, if you have hearing that's just very sensitive.
If you got tinnitus.
Yeah.
Oh, but on the other hand,
it is a hell of a lot of fun.
That's a blast, but you are such a target in this little bright yellow jacket looking thing. It's noisy.
To mess with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Cops will, even if you're going the speed limit, cops will be like, I'm going to follow that guy.
So here's the other thing. Do you agree that this is a budget supercar or a junior supercar? What are your thoughts on that?
This is a junior supercar. This is not a budget supercar, I don't think. I think junior supercar is a little bit more derogatory than budget supercar.
I do feel like it is a junior supercar, though.
Yes, I agree. I mean, I
think that's a fairer term.
It's like they took the mold of a supercar, shrunk it down, and then just used poorer materials.
They shrunk it down to an affordable scale.
Yeah.
Because, like, this is decently affordable, and it looks like a supercar, and some people will think that this is a supercar.
Yeah, with good reason. I mean, it looks great.
Everyday people, I mean, this gets a lot of attention. Like, it looks crazy. I've only seen one of these in the wild ever.
Yeah, same.
Before. Like, they're very uncommon, at least from my personal experience. They're very rare. You don't see them, and, like, people think they're cool when they look at them, and this is, like, art.
Yeah, I agree. This car is so cool, and it's going to be one of those things in like 50 years, people are going to be like, wow. Now, when I was growing up, there was a car called the Alfa Romeo 4C.
I don't know. Now that you mention it, it could be almost like a DeLorean type of situation where like it's an objectively terrible car, but because it's so cool looking, it has this like cult following, and it becomes this sort of cultural icon, potentially. Yeah,
I think so. I think this is going to be like a Pantera or something like that, where people are like, yeah, man, that was cool. Even though there weren't many of them made or bought, and they were not super comfortable or anything. It's just, it's cool. It's a really cool car.
Yeah, I do kind of foresee that happening.
Yeah.
All right, so starting us off in the rankings category, if you can hear me over the engine, is performance.
That's an appropriate place to start.
Which is strong.
Yeah.
Like we said, 0 to 60 time in 4.3 seconds. Very good handling.
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a 7.
Okay, that's a little better than what I was thinking. I was thinking a 6.5.
Yeah.
And next up is definitely where this is gonna suffer the hardest: practicality. Because
what can you even say that's practical except for the fact that it gets good gas mileage?
Yeah, I feel like we should just have a montage of all like the things in here that are a joke on the practicality.
I'm gonna give it a 2. I'm gonna give it a 2. Even the Polaris Slingshot had more storage than this thing because it had a glove box.
Honestly, I'm leaning to a straight up 1.
Wow.
Like, yeah, I'm giving it a 1. This is the least practical car I have ever driven.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Straight up, not gonna lie. Next up is value.
I don't think it's good.
Yeah.
I don't think the value is that great.
I mean, really, the only good thing about this is how fun it is.
Yeah.
And it's 57 grand.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know, like, my Golf, for example, cost $40,000.
Yeah.
And it's almost as much fun as this. Like, this is more fun, but it's almost
not
as
by
much fun.
much.
Not by much. My Golf is almost as much fun as this, and it's way more practical.
I think I'm going to give it a 3.5 for value.
3.5 from JT. I think I'm going to go with a 3 as well. It's just because, like we said, I mean, like, you can get Mustangs and good Camaros and like the new Corvette C8 and a Porsche Boxster or a Lotus Elise. I think all of those are better options than this.
I would agree with that, but man, just taking this thing around turns is so much fun.
Cool factor though is very strong.
Honestly, I'm gonna go 9.
9.
I think this thing is super cool for what it is.
Wow, I do kind of agree with that, because I do think if you've watched this whole video, you know all the bad of this car.
Yeah.
Like if you've watched this review or looked it up, you know the bad things about the 4C. But
and there's a lot.
I suspect that somebody out there watching this video probably still wants this car solely based on how it looks, and I don't judge them for it at all.
No, not at all.
This is such an amazing looking car, and I do think for under $60,000, this is the best looking car you can buy. I'm not gonna go with a 9, I will go with a 8.
That's totally fair. This, like, for me, I had a long infatuation with this car just because of the looks.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous. I was like, man, I can daily drive that. I can make that my car.
You can put
I
up
could
with
do
it.
that. No.
So that leads us into quality, which is pretty trash.
Pretty bad.
Everything in here is pretty bad. There's exposed screws even that you can see. Like, you can literally see screws that are drilled in, that are out in the open on the glove box. That's wild. Man, I'm gonna go with a 3.5.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3.5 too. I can't give it a 3. It's decent.
Like, it's okay,
it's
but
subpar, but it's okay.
It is, yeah. And finally, that leads us into fun factor, which I think is also quite high.
Yeah, fun factor. This thing is a blast. It's like, if you guys are watching, like, every time I went around a turn, I just had the biggest smile because this thing is so much fun.
Man, I don't know. I'd probably go with a 7 on this, on fun factor, honestly. For me, I think that's a high score.
Yeah,
for
that
this.
is good. I'm probably gonna give it a 7.5, which is I think what I gave the Miata. So, well, if I gave the Miata a 7.5, I'm gonna give this one a 7.
7.
Yeah.
All right.
The Miata wasn't just a touch funner. More fun?
So, our average score is painfully a 30.5.
30.5.
mostly because of horrible scores on practicality, value, and quality.
Yeah.
If your only concern is fun, get a Miata.
Yeah.
Or a Lotus Elise.
Yeah.
If your concern is more comfort and luxury, get a Boxster. If your comfort is more style, or if your style is more like style,
yeah,
and you want to be flashy and have a cool looking car, get this.
Yeah.
And that's how I would say get all of those cars.
Yeah, I'd say that's just about right. That's all we've got for the 2016 Alfa Romeo 4C.
Yep.
Thank you guys for putting up with it. It's not a bad car. It's an amazing car. It's got a lot of flaws.
Yep.
So thank you guys for watching. If it's your first time, we hope you stick around. We'll see you in the next one.
See you in the next time. Peace.
You know, sometimes when I've had a bad day or I'm just really stressed, I like to come out to my car and just watch Curiosity Stream. It's really relaxing, you know? Curiosity Stream is the world's first streaming service for people who actually like to learn stuff. They have thousands of documentaries and nonfiction titles from some of the world's best filmmakers. If you like our show, you'll love their speed category. It's got a ton of content on cars and other things that go fast. We've recently partnered with Curiosity Stream to help build Nebula, our new streaming service. Nebula is a streaming video platform built by and for independent creators. Because we all appreciate how supportive our fans are, Curiosity Stream is offering a free Nebula subscription with every purchase of a year-long Curiosity Stream membership. With this bundle, you get the best of both worlds. Curiosity Stream is home to high production value documentaries and nonfiction work, whereas Nebula is a place for educational YouTubers to try new things and experiment with different formats, things the YouTube algorithm would punish us for. Curiosity Stream loves independent creators and wants to help us grow our platform, so they're offering Grand Theft Auto fans free access to Nebula when you sign up at curiositystream.com/GTA. When you sign up for Curiosity Stream, you get instant access to thousands of nonfiction titles, and you'll get to watch a bunch of new episodes from Grand Theft Auto months before they hit YouTube, plus lots of other great Nebula originals. By signing up for Curiosity Stream, you'll be helping not only GTA, but the entire educational community, as we work together to build a place where we can create exciting new content that just wouldn't be possible on YouTube. Give it a try by signing up using the link below. We promise you'll love it.